guys, so welcome back. Okay, I was just trying to get something off. I'm going to read it chapter 16, which I don't even know how long it is. Oh, it's really short. It's not super short, I'm sure it'll take 10 minutes still, but anyway. Clarice, that is no way to treat a book. Clarice Bean Spells Trouble by Lauren Child, chapter 16, page 156. So if you have the book, join me there. Otherwise, just listen and grab a puzzle or something to eat or a blanket, or anything to keep you occupied while I do this. So let's get right into it. Chapter 16. Sometimes things are easier if you don't say what you think. Page 156. Guess what? I have got the part of Liesel. What happened was Mrs. Wilburton came up to me all as if it was her idea in the first place and says, I have decided that you will play the part of Liesel von Trapp, but there will be no more cheekiness, any bad behavior, and you're out. Do you understand? Of course, I say, yes, Mrs. Wilburton, even though I do not agree with what she has said, and it is not fair because I have not been cheeky, nor have I been up to any bad behavior. But I remember Ruby Redford's rule of, don't argue with people who are about to give you what you want. Let them think they are in charge. That is very good advice, everybody. This Ruby Redford, smart chick. This is something Ruby Redford herself is not good at. She always argues. At break time, Mr. Pickering says that he is so impressed by Carl's good piece of writing in Mr. Washington's class and new effort of being less badly behaved that he can have his job back, doing the sound effects in the school play. Carl is really pleased because whatever he said about not caring was not really actually true. And he did care actually quite a lot because he had gone to a lot of trouble collecting up sounds and fitting them in the right places. Not that he says anything about it to me. In fact, he doesn't say anything to me at all. We have to do rehearsals at lunchtime, and it's quite fun because finally I have something to say, and I can remember it all. My cousin Noah is playing the part of Ralph now, which is fine because I don't mind holding his hand because at least I know where it has been. Not up his nose. Thank goodness Ralph isn't Robert Granger or Toby Hockling. Robert Granger is clomping around the stage, and I must say he does not look one bit how anyone would imagine Captain Von Trapp to look, although he is a surprisingly good singer, and his singing is much nicer noise than his talking. We have to wear a costume, which means it is called a dress rehearsal, performing the whole play in your costume and everything, but with no audience. I love dress rehearsals. This hair is interesting right now. And Susie Wu has forgotten her Maria apron, so she has to borrow one of Mrs. Osman, the lunch lady, and has apple brown Betty on it. When she comes on, Carl does a really good sound of wind blowing because at the beginning she is meant to be up on a mountain, and when Mrs. Wilburton walks onto the stage to tell Alexander Hoke to stop chattering, Carl does a slightly different windy sound, which is rude. And Mrs. Wilburton says, Carl, what was that noise? And Carl says, sorry, Mrs. Wilburton, it went off by accident. Mrs. Wilburton is so astonished to hear Carl say sorry that she forgets to tell him off. And even though everyone knows he did it on purpose to be funny, he has gotten out of trouble by using the simplest Ruby Redford rule. Sometimes it is smart to say sorry, even when you are not. I am quite excited about my outfit. Mom has made it for me, and it is really fairly twirly, and I spend most of my time twirling. I am still hoping my Ruby Redford fly hair clip arrives this week, since I would really like to wear it for the play. I've decided Liesel is the sort of girl who would wear a Ruby Redford hair clip. Cesarina says it is good to put some of your own personality into your character you are playing. So this is my own idea of what Liesel is like. At the Pegs, after school, I bump into Carl Rumberry getting his coat. He sort of looks at me, and I think he even might say something, but then Toby Hockling comes barging along and starts giving Carl a Chinese burn, and they start wrestling about on the floor. So I go off to find Betty. I'm having a hard time lately. Right. We, me and Betty, are walking to drama workshop, and we are all extremely excited as we only have 1 week to go before the performance, and I hope I do not forget any of my lines and end up standing there like a lemon, a non-speaking lemon. Cesarina has said sometimes people do forget their line, but it's all due to nerves. And then there suddenly is Mrs. Stampney. She tuts at us because me and Betty are sharing a package of jelly beans. I offer her one and she says, "They'll rot your teeth out," you know. And I want to say, at least I've got teeth to rot. But I don't, because Mom would say, "That's rude, and however rude Mrs. Stapney is to you, there's no need to sink to her level." At Drama Shop, Cesarina says we will be doing some improvising, which just means making it up as you go along, and whatever might have happened to you, for instance today, is something that you can use and turn into drama. Me and Betty do a drama about old witch who tries to steal young children's teeth. Cesarina says it is full of depth and is an interesting allegory about adults spoiling childhood dreams. I am not sure what allegory means, and neither is Betty. But when Moll comes to pick us up, she says, "It can be a story that tells you two things at the same time. The actual story and then also an underlying, slightly disguised message." We are obviously much more clever than I thought we were. And it's the sort of thing Ruby Redford might use, a story that she would say in public which had a secret meaning to it, so only Clancy Crew would understand. We tell Moll how in Drama Workshop Cesarina has been talking about how it is important to watch the way other people act. This is a good way of learning the craft. Here's the non-speaking lemon. I think we might need to watch more television, although Moll says, perhaps Cesarina means that you should observe how people behave in the daily life. She might be right, but just to be on the safe side, as soon as I get home I turn on the TV, and it is an episode of Ruby Redford called "Here's Looking at You, Kid." Hey, Tomes. My puppy's so handsome. I've seen it before. It's not that good. It's the one where Ruby discovers that the evil Count von Viscount has got hold of these special X-ray glasses and is reading everyone's secret documents and mail without taking them out of the envelopes. He wants to take over the world, of course. It's a bit far-fetched, but I'm still utterly on the edge of my seat. Unfortunately, just at the good part, Mom says, "Clarice, you wouldn't like to nip down to Eggplant for me, would you?" Waldo Park called to say Mom has accidentally left the groceries behind. She has forgotten them because Mina was distracting her by having a tantrum, which Mom said was utterly embarrassing. She said to him, "Next time you do that, I am going to do it too, and see how you like it." The answer is, "No, I don't want to go to Eggplant and miss my program," but then it's not really a question, so I go. On the way, I have to walk past the park, and I see Granddad and Cement being trained by Carl. He has really improved them, and it is amazing how well behaved they are with him. Something good has rubbed off. It is a bit like with Carl and Mr. Washington. When they spot me, Granddad waves and Cement barks, but only once because he can see Carl doing his special no barking signal. And I am waiting for Carl to do his Mrs. Wilburton with Trotter's impression, but he never does. That is the end. Hey, I was pretty close. It is around 10 minutes. But that is the end of chapter 16. We ended on page 100. We ended on page 163, so we'll pick up with chapter 17 on page 64. And Toby just wants attention. Do you just want attention? Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the worlds that books create, and we thank all the authors out there. But as Mr. Washington says, stay cool. And this is the end of the video, so yeah, stay cool, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.